Clueless councillors, frantic FaceTime, and a cold Cork. On this week's episode, we've got it all. Welcome to Rebel City Roundup, where I'll be giving you my take on the top news and happenings in and around Cork this week. I put out videos like this every Sunday, so if this is your cup of tea, please do consider subscribing. As you can see on the side of the screen, we have a full schedule today, so without further ado, let's get going. We're kicking things off today with a really cool story, literally. There's no denying it, last week has been frigid, absolutely freezing. Even when temperatures climbed above zero, they still felt like they were far below. And on Tuesday evening and Wednesday morning, we down here in Cork got a bit of a white surprise. And what do you know, once there was one snowflake on every 3 square meters of ground, the entire traffic system down here collapsed. Traffic jams for miles and 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 miles. Sorry. Beyond the usual, buses being even less reliable than usual, which is saying something given that we're at the mercy of bus Aaron down here, and cars slipping and sliding all over the place as if this was some kind of skating rink. And all of that with just 4 to 5 centimeters of snow, if I'm really generous. Now, granted, Ireland has a relatively mild climate. Snow isn't really that common over here. But come on, people, it's not unheard of. What the hell is wrong with preparing for that kind of weather? What the hell is wrong with not at least having a set of snow chains in your fucking car? The snow was pretty much history on Wednesday afternoon, but the frigid temperatures they basically persisted until yesterday evening when it finally started getting a bit milder. So from now on it looks as if we're more into the typical Irish winter weather, which means rain, rain. Oh, and did I mention rain? What was your experience during that snow spell? Were you stuck somewhere? Did you have trouble getting into work or maybe school? Let me know in the comments below. While we're on the topic of harebrained decisions, we need to talk about Cork City Council. Damn, that was a good transition. Anyway, you may have heard that since summer, Patrick Street, the main shopping street in Cork, is closed for private motor vehicles during certain hours in the afternoon. The aim is to make Cork's bus network a bit more reliable. Well, anything at this stage, I guess, but in fairness, the new measure has made Cork a lot more attractive in my eyes. It certainly is a huge addition to the city, if it's policed properly, that is. However, there are some people who still haven't really arrived at that conclusion yet. There's a group of traders and some local councillors in the city who still think that Cork should be run like I don't know, Ballyass Backwards or some other backwater county town where anyone can just roll up to any shop they like and do the shopping. That's just not possible in a city of 200,000 people, which Cork will be come June. Anyway, just this past Monday, this group of pathologically nostalgic individuals pushed forward to have the entire closure cut completely from the city. The initiative was spearheaded by Councillor Tim Brosnan of Fianna Fáil, or as I like to call him, Fianna Failure, who has been spectacularly narrow-minded with regards to public transport in the past. He wanted the whole thing and everything we're doing with the new public transport strategy cut. I don't have to tell you how harebrained that decision would have been, given that Cork has been built for horses, horse-drawn carriages, and people walking. Maybe cyclists, but definitely not with cars in mind. Yes, there are problems with regards to traffic in Cork, but you cannot solve them by simply ramrodding more cars down an already congested city centre. However, that simple bit of logic seems to escape some people here. For our final story of the day, we need to talk about my former employer, Apple. Can someone tell me what the hell is wrong with those guys at the moment? I mean, seriously, in recent times the company appears to have lost its magic touch. Or to put it more bluntly, they seem to have lost the plot completely. iPhone sales are down, the stock prices crashed and burned. Their MacBook and general pricing strategy is completely all over the place with no apparent structure. And now Apple is sabotaging the one thing that still sets it apart from the competition: their stance on privacy. You may have heard about the issues that Apple has been facing around FaceTime, their video calling solution, in recent days and weeks. Basically, under a very specific set of circumstances, FaceTime could be used as a listening device without the user knowing. Not really the kind of story you want to hear when you're a company that prides itself on privacy. Now granted, the situation in which this could happen, they were pretty limited. Basically, you already had to be on a FaceTime call and then had to patch another person into that call, and that third participant's microphones would be switched on immediately even before he accepted the call, which of course is not really ideal. Apple deactivated the FaceTime group calling feature shortly after the bug was made public, and they've promised a security fix for next week. We'll see how that goes. However, as someone who knows Apple from the inside, I cannot help but shake my head. The company's stance on privacy has long been much more than just a publicity stunt. Having worked in Apple Care for 3.5 years, I've seen firsthand just how focused Apple is on this whole privacy issue. And then to have such an issue slip through the cracks of quality and testing, especially when the feature had already been pulled from general release back in September because it wasn't ready, that just boggles my mind. And as far as I'm concerned, if Apple keeps up that kind of stuff, they may be on the way to losing their position in the market. And I personally do not want to be stuck in a mobile phone market that is dominated by Android alone. Monocultures are never good. But that's just my take on the situation. What's yours? Put it in the comment section below. And that's it for Rebel City Roundup this week. Only 3 stories this time around, but to be honest, it was a slow news week, at least if you're counting out all the stories about death and destruction, and I don't want those to dominate my channel. If you have any thoughts or comments on the topics I covered, or if there's something that you'd like to see me cover in the future, be sure to put it in the comment section below. The same goes for any feedback or criticism you might have. Every comment is a huge help for me. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap on the little notification bell to never miss a video. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see you around.